everybody today?
Good. How are you?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Everybody doing?
How y'all doing? How was your day?
Long.
Pretty good. Pretty productive.
Good to be back.
Yeah, mine was pretty long too, you know. So guys, we're back again. It's Tuesday, 9 p.m. I'm the missus with Affinity Black, and we have Mr. Affinity Black here tonight with you guys. We're gonna go around the table and introduce everybody. Chris, we'll start with you. You can hear
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. All right. I'm Granddaddy Chris with Toast One TV, and I'm here guest again. I'm happy to be here. Yep, ready to see what's gonna happen, man. You know, last show was awesome. You know what I'm saying? So see what's up. See what's gonna be this time. How y'all doing, everybody?
We
Doing good.
Jocelyn.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jocelyn. I'm back. Thank you guys so much for having me again. My name is Jocelyn, and I'm a mom of two.
Also.
What's going on, everybody? Also, back again. I'll be here until y'all get rid of me.
Good to have you. And Gersh, we got Gersh here with us today.
Yes, first time guest. Thank you for having me. My name is Gersh. Just can't wait. So thank you for having me. This is gonna be one heck of an experience.
Oh, it's good to have you guys. So today, the topic of discussion, we're gonna just get right into this. Is single parenthood. Who has it worse, men or women? I mean, that's a crazy question, right? Because most often women always have like the burden of everything, right? But this time we have it's single parenthood difficult. Let's discuss the challenges. Who has it worse, men or women? Also, let's start with you.
Men, we definitely do have it tough out here being single parents. I'm one of 4 kids. With that being said, my second baby mother, she's actually in the picture, but I'm still a single parent because I definitely do got custody of them. But the first one is definitely tough. Men definitely have it harder than females do because they got females have the upper hand in this whole situation of the single parent life. So I'm gonna start with that, and I'm gonna turn it over to Gersh, who's as well as a single parent.
Yes, piggybacking off of you. Yes, we as men, the good fathers, of course, active dads in the children's life, we do have it hard because it's just the challenges that comes with it, depending on of course, for us, the mothers we deal with, and it just makes it difficult for us to basically be a good parent and a good parent to our kids because the situation we deal with the mothers. So like I said, yeah, we as fathers, we have it difficult because immediately we're supposed to be the providers and take care and just basically just no matter what, figure it out.
Right. So let me ask, I think I can go over a few challenges that we as women face. As far as being single parents, what are the challenges that you guys face as far as being single parents? What are your daily challenges as fathers? I'm sure it's probably similar. Can you guys go over anything challenging that you guys face, on a day-to-day basis as single fathers? Also, I know you have experience with that. You're raising all your children. What is that like for you?
It's tough. It's we gotta go through scheduling time of work schedule. Let's say for work instance, I gotta kind of work through everybody's schedule, putting the girls through dance, the boys getting haircuts, the girls getting their hair done. It's just tough, because sometimes my work schedule might not fit with their schedule. And I gotta go through loopholes just to make things work for them so they can be happy. And at the end of the day, as men, we have to be happy as well. But sometimes the shit just don't work out for us. It just doesn't work out for us. And don't get me wrong, it might not work out for some females, but y'all definitely do have it easier. I probably have like a auntie or a mother or somebody that y'all know that does hair, and or just does certain things. But for us, it's like, where the fuck do we go? Like we got to dig deep into ourselves at that very moment and be like, yo, what would I do? What would I do if my mom was by herself to help her? And we can't ask our young kids that because they're young and they don't know much. So it's really tough on us. Like it's really tough, like super tough.
So like, you don't have anyone helping you with your daughter? You have daughters, right?
Yes.
So what do you do when you come across like challenges like that, having to do their hair? Are you like, no family, neighbors?
I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't went through like 4 hairdressers because one, my girls are super tender headed, and I know people are impatient with doing kids' hair and this, that, and third. So what I try to do my best at doing their hair. I know how to do 3 hairstyles, 2 pigtails, throw the things in twisters, and a ponytail, and we good to go. Like, listen, baby girl, look, you gonna look crazy right now,
Right.
but daddy gonna help you. Now, I mean, you gonna look great in a minute, and you gonna go to school. By the time you go to school, come home, your shit gonna be messed up anyway. So don't even worry about it. Like, these are the challenges I gotta go through. And
Right.
then my babies are super still young, so I was like, I still gotta prepare myself when they come tell me like, yo, look, I like somebody, or it's that time of the month. Like, those are things that run through my mind, and these are with girls. With boys, it's kind of easier. Like, all right, we go to the barbershop, cut this shit off. Excuse my French, cut this off, and we gonna be all right. Like, but the girls is my main challenge. They definitely it's a tough ride with the girls.
Real quick, I want to welcome Lika. Thank you for signing on today. Hi, Lika.
Hi everyone, how are you?
Good, good, good. So do you guys feel like there's like more government resources available to like single mothers than there are to single fathers? Do you get any type of like, or at any point were you able to get any type of like government assistance or any type of like daycare help with your children when they were younger? Not having family around?
Is that question for
Oh,
everyone or is
yeah,
just
everyone, or just it's just.
Also,
Oh, okay,
For
so
me, oh,
also.
at that time, being at this very moment, that government system shit doesn't work. Even at the time when it was just my son, it was a hard time getting that because like, again, like I said, I at that very moment I was working 2 jobs at the time, and they was like, you was making too much money, and like I said, I didn't want nothing but food stamps. Like, I don't want no cash. I don't want to put her on child support. I don't want to do nothing. I just need stamps to put so I could have some type of extra money to get food. And it still was tough. They was giving me the runaround before they even gave me $1 for stamps. But I had got them, and them shits came and went. And to this day, they still brush me to the side. Like, nah, you make too much money. I don't believe I do. They still brush me to the side to get any type of assistance like that. Like, y'all got it to. It's like they gave it to the females. I'm not gonna say y'all, but they gave it to females. It's easier for them. They could walk in there and be like, yo, my baby daddy ain't taking care of me, or he ain't helping out. And it's like, all right, food stamps, child support, and we gonna find a way for him to pay for your rental, pay for something. Like, they not giving that to us, not at all, not one bit.
Wow. Well, I commend you for being such a great father and holding it down, for your kids. That's amazing. How common is it for men to be single fathers? Chris, Gersh, like,
well, yeah. Well, I'm kind of like also, I got custody of my son. Um, I just want to say, I just want to tear down the stereotype of black man. It's not true. You know, the majority of black men really care for their children, and they'll do whatever for their kids. The problem is when you have a bad relationship in a way that's kind of hindering the relationship between the father and the mother.
right.
I mean the father and the child. You know what I mean? Just like Oso said, we don't really have a legal support, when it comes to dealing with children, but the woman on the other hand, they have a lot of things that they can go to, a lot of programs, you know. Um, I've never heard of a father that had custody of their children and was going after the mother for child support. I've never heard that. Has anybody heard that before?
No, I've never heard of it, but I'm sure it exists. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
Yeah.
I've
I
heard
mean,
stories of where the father would go for child support to the mother, like the judge shows, the TV shows. You hear that.
you hear it all the
mhm.
time. Yeah. So like, what are the challenges that you guys experience with the mothers that caused you to like not be able to get the help from their side? Because this is like it's kind of backwards, right? Usually, the mother has the child, and the father, the woman is having a hard time, like, getting the father to be on board. Like, what experiences, like, what challenges are you experiencing with, the mother that's stopping you guys from like getting all the support you need? Like, girls, do you have like any challenges when it comes to like getting your child being around your daughter, your son?
Yes, with my daughter in my situation is more of the strength of relationship I've had with the mother. So the mother, basically me not being with the mom, hindered the relationship between me and my daughter, because it's one of those where with her is, if got to be with her in order for the relationship to be great with my child. So as long as I'm with her, I can do whatever. Everything is no problem. Everything is cool. Like, I can spend time. I can do this. I can do that. Everything. And then when we're not together, is all of a sudden now there's always a pattern to things. We got to follow the rules. Things that we were doing before now is a problem, because she wants to basically be petty at the moment. So when my situation is more off of just basically pettiness.
So you haven't been able to. So you're trying to say that like a lot of times women try to control the situation when it comes to you visiting your child. You're gonna have her and things like that.
Like, yeah, especially when the mom knows that obviously, like, you're there for the child and not them. It's like, okay, I'm going to use your child against you because I know you rather your child, so I'm going to basically get in the way of that and make it more challenging, unnecessarily challenging for you, because you don't want to be with me, or you're not giving me what I want. And like I said, with my situation, like, you're not with me, so okay, I'm going to make it as difficult as I can. Where before, like I said, when we were together, is like everything that's was an issue now was never an issue, never like question. It was just okay, because duh, we're together. So it's not about the child, it's about the mother. And that's the problem too. Like, sometimes the moms just make it about them, it's not really about the child. So when they portray, like, or they claim like, oh, the well-being of my child, I'm like, no, it's just really you're being basically petty. It's about you, because I'm not with you, so you're going to make it challenging for me to see my daughter. I mean, I have my daughter since she's been born. Basically, I have visitations from Wednesdays to Saturday. So it's like from 4 to, I got to pick her up at 4, drop off at 8. But see, the thing is, the visitation was done when she was literally a baby. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's the same visitation since then, but the visitations are from 4 to 8. But again, like I said before, throughout those years, when me and the mom would work it out, we don't have to follow the paperwork. But as soon as I'm now, of course, I haven't been with the mom for years. Now is we got to follow the paperwork, blah 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 blah. So that in my case is the pettiness.
Right, right. So Jocelyn, like, we've been like single mothers before, and we blended our families. What was like single motherhood like for you?
Sorry. Single motherhood was, I'm gonna say, hard. It was definitely hard. But thank God for my village. And when I speak about my village, I'm talking about my mom, my dad, my parents, my siblings, cousins, friends. So I had a great support system on that end. But honestly, I feel like if I didn't have the support system, where would I be today? Because I would be a lost woman.
So, like, what I hear is like these guys saying, we've made it hard a little bit, and we have it easier because we have what is this, a support system from like the government and stuff like that. Do you think that that's like the case? Do we not have it? Do we have it hard as well?
I mean, I would say is I was always a working parent. At the end of the day, I had my daughter at 18, and from the time I graduated out of high school, I had no choice but to woman up, get a great job, So I was always constantly getting denied for food stamps because I made too much. I made too much money. That's okay. It is what it is. But I feel like as a woman, right? And I'm more mature now than I was when I was 18. I feel like I know my father. If anything, I used to get upset with him. I'm like, why don't you spend time with your daughter? Why aren't you around your daughter? Like, take her to the park, take her somewhere, do something with her. Like, it was always constant. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I feel for also girls, Chris. I feel for you guys because I know for me personally, I was opposite. I was never the type to be like, oh, you're not with me, you can't see your daughter. Never.
Right. I just want to say, hey, Jazz, welcome with us. Our topic for today is single parenthood and who has it worse. We're happy to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, Lika, what are your thoughts on single parenthood? You're a single mom. What's that like? Do you have it hard? Do we have it hard? Do you think men have it worse or women have it worse? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I am a single mother, and it is hard because you're raising two kids on your own. But for men, I know a guy that's a single father right now, and he does an amazing job with his daughter. But we do get it hard because sometimes the government don't want to help us out. They be like, "Where's the father?" The first thing they always talk about is put them on child support, which I'm not truly a fan of. I mean, I did have my child father on child support at one point in time, and then I took him off because I decided I wanted a peace of mind for myself. Um, but I was never bitter with him. If he wanted to see the kids, he could see the kids. Um, I know there's a stereotype for baby mothers where they always talk about they don't want the next woman around their child. When you go to court, the judge is going to tell you automatically you can't say that. So I had to bite that bullet and let my kids be with whoever he want to be with and accept it. And if you really truly love that person, you'll be happy for whoever they're with and whatever they plan on doing for the future. So it was really hard, and it is still hard because I'm raising teenagers now.
Right. I can see that. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You know how women feel about a man having their child around another woman. Men have to also deal with that, but we don't have a choice in the matter at all. You know what I'm saying? Whoever the mother decides to be with, we have to accept it. It doesn't even, we don't really have a say so. The law is strict when it comes to where the child goes automatically to the mother. But in other countries, I'm gonna say Panama for instance, the child automatically goes to the father, which is, I know that's different from what we're used to, but it kind of puts a whole different perspective. You know what I mean? When it comes to parenthood, when they're pushing a narrative of a single mother, single motherhood here in America, and that's the only thing that's being perpetuated. Whereas other countries, they're experiencing something totally different. But we think that that's the only way, or that's how it's supposed to be. But in some cases, show you that when you're like a father it has no choice but to be with the children because the mother is not there. You know what I'm saying? The mother could deal with the same issue, but also shown and proven that a father could do the same thing. It may be tough, may be hard, but he's doing it. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure he doesn't complain about it because that's his responsibility, and he gets joy out of taking care of his kids.
I got a question, but
Go ahead.
the question is, but can a man adequately raise a woman?
Can
Say
what?
that.
Like, can a man, as a single father, can a man adequately raise a woman? Like, is a man capable of doing that?
Can I answer that?
No,
Because
Also,
go ahead, Gersh.
I'm raising a daughter, and it's all. I mean, it's basically at the end of the day, you're a parent, whether you're raising, boy or girl. But in my case, I'm raising a daughter, and I can say yes, you can. You just got to know what you're doing. Just because you're raising a son, don't mean you know what you're doing as well. So raising a daughter from being a man, yes, you can raise a daughter. You just, of course, it's just a different way of doing it. That's you just got to know what it is you're doing. You're gonna learn. Nothing is nothing is like how you say it, you don't get it off rip. You got to keep going through it, throwing through failures to understand how to go about it. You know, you got to keep failing to get it right. So it's going to be challenges with raising your daughter, but I can say right now, I've been raising my daughter, and I know even from a menstrual, like understanding how that works, because at the end she's going to be with me when she has it. So I have to learn how to deal with her when she's going through that, because I got to help her and let her know this is what you do, this is how you go about it, you know. And when you with dad, because of course mom and dad are different. Mom has what she has, but dad don't. But at least dad can guide her to. I'm guiding her to like this is how you go. You know what you have to do. Just be mindful of it. Just an example, you know. But overall, yes, we can raise. You know, we can raise women. We can raise our daughters.
Jazzy, what's your thoughts on that? Like, what's your perspective?
I definitely believe that a man could raise a daughter. I believe a female could raise a man because I raised my son. But parenting don't come with a book.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you have a child, they don't say, "All right, here's your parenting guide, and these are the things that you do." You learn as you go, you know, and you learn from the mistakes that your parents made, and sometimes because of the mistakes that our parents made, sometimes we tend to go too far, and that hinders us in parenting as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it really does take a village to raise a child, because you learn from your neighbors, you learn from your friends, you learn from other people. It really does take a village to raise a child.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys like had like visitation and custody problems? Like, has anyone here has had like any custody problems, and visitation issues or challenges?
Um, Sorry. Yes, me
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
Of course, I've had visitation since, of course, my daughter's been even before she reached 1. So, like I said before, where the judge overall says just work it out. You know, they got to put something on paper, but at the end or be all, the judge tells you as parents, co-parent, work together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all here because y'all can't figure it out. But my case, I like I said, the challenges come whenever, like, you know, mom chooses to be, you know, chooses to be petty, you know, in regards to she feels a way about something, and that's the challenges for me, where like all of a sudden now where I can't see her here, or
Ask you a
is
question. What does petty look like? Like, what is that? What is that petty? Because I think that sometimes it's not that women are acting petty. I just think that there's like there's a communication barrier, and both parties have figured it out. What is it like? Being
pettiness? Well, okay, pettiness is where you're basically using, because you're not getting what you want, you're using the situation against me. So in
Right.
other words, like I said,
Communicating that? Like, how are
huh?
you communicating with the person? Because before you have children, you people basically pick their partners, right?
Mhm.
People pick their partners, and so when things go south, all of a sudden, no one knows how to communicate. No one knows how to express exactly what they need, and then there's a child involved. Like, what does that look like? Like, what does your communication style looks like with the person you had a child with and probably lived with for some time?
I
Well,
go ahead.
basic. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll go after you. You go ahead.
I
Okay.
could definitely tell you how that goes. That goes from being, all right, listen, you know what? We didn't agree. We lied together. We did what we did. We had this child together at the beginning. This is how it all starts. It's all beautiful. It's this, that, and the third. And fellas, y'all might hate me for this, but sometimes us as people, us as men, we do decide like, you know what? This I didn't want this. You kind of forced this upon me. Like, you kind of forced this child upon me, because sometimes we don't be wanting kids. I know we did wrong. We done jumped in the box without no hat on and nothing like that. We know what we was doing at the moment. Just like y'all know
Well,
what y'all was doing at the moment.
I wanted a
Right?
kid. Me personally, I planned my child.
Okay. Okay.
So some of us kind of set ourselves up for failure, not knowing that this person is this way. Should be beautiful at the beginning. Don't get me wrong, because everything is kind of beautiful once the baby, After a while, you enjoying the moment, this, that, and third. Shit do be beautiful. But then after you, sometimes you realize, like, you listen, not even realize, sometimes things go wrong when the female doesn't get her way. If it doesn't go her way, it's no way. Like, you know what? Oh, I carried this baby for 9 months. Oh, I did this for 9 months. Oh, I did this for this, that, and third. Like, you could have sat there and got an abortion if you really felt that way, if you was gonna feel that way, and it be
can I
like
say
that. And I hate to be. I'm sorry. I
Wait.
hate to be
Oh, so wait.
No, for real. I hate to be. I hate to be.
can I piggyback off that?
He
Can I piggyback off that?
Chris.
Because sometimes when you're in a relationship with somebody, what if you have a child, you later then find out that person is not for you, but that person holds that over your head as if you left them and the child. You know what I mean? And so they hold that over their head, and they try to use that power over you. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking out of experience, because I also have a child that's 6 years old, a daughter. She lives in Nashville, and just a couple weeks ago, she came with some of my family members here for the first time. But anytime before that, I would have to travel to go see her, and I always felt like the mother only did that because she always felt that I left her. But really, I made a conscious decision that I was making a bad decision being with her, so I had to step away. It was a hard decision for me, being that I had a daughter coming into the world. You know what I mean? It was hard, but obviously I made the right choice, and some people are, they get bitter in a sense, and then, but give it time, you know what I'm saying? She let her come, and see me, and I'm thankful for that. I was patient for 6 whole years.
Can anyone here admit that people like you guys probably contribute to the separation? Like, because I think a lot of times men, like, not, I'm not gonna say all men, but or people, a lot of people, they don't admit to the things that they do wrong or how they contribute to a separation when there's kids involved. I mean, because everyone here is like, well, the woman, what exactly did anybody do here to contribute to that separation? Lika, is there anything like that you think you might have done in your previous relationship that might have contributed to you separating from your kid's father?
I have admitted to myself that I did contribute to it, because once I had the kids, I changed. Like, as women, when we have babies, we don't feel the same. So I completely did a 160 on him, where I was not dressing out, going out how I used to. It was always about the kids, never about him. And it's like I kind of neglected his needs in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's the reason why it contributed to us breaking up.
What about? Go ahead, Josh.
All right, so let me just throw this out there. All right, so let's say the situation you guys do end up having kids, and your baby father or boyfriend, husband, whoever it is at the time, give you the moment, like, yo, look, I'm not forcing you to go to work, but I want you to go do something with yourself at the end of the day.
Okay.
Like, go to school, go figure something out. You know what I mean? Because I know you be home with the baby. When I come home, go figure something out. But you choose not to do shit. Sometimes females really feel like, females feel like, I don't have to do nothing because this is my baby. I carry this baby. You're supposed to go out and do everything you're supposed to do. Yeah, that's the modern time. Yeah, our grandfathers did that, and whatever the case may be. And I'm not asking you for you to go bust your ass to go work or kill yourself, but I want you to go do something with yourself.
So
shit like that fucks a relationship or homes up. It really fucks that up.
You're saying,
listen. Also, I commend you. You sound really angry.
You sound really angry, and I'm sorry. The tequila's kicking in, and it's really starting to come to me because, like,
I'm
now
so
you bring
sorry
back
you have to go
a whole 18 years of bullshit like that I dealt with. Like, I gave this girl everything in the world.
I can only speak for myself and my experience. With my daughter's father, and now my husband. I have a child with my husband as well. Mm-hmm. Big difference, huge difference. My husband wanted me to be home for 2 years, And at first I was like, all right, cool. Because, you know, are you working for all these years? It sounds good, 2 years. But let me tell you something. Being home with a child is not easy as well. And after like 9 months of my son being born, I was like, I can't do this no more. I need to go and do something with myself. Because staying home and doing nothing and like you're just doing nothing. You're cleaning, you're cooking. That's not me per se. That's not my lifestyle. That's why sometimes I sit back and I'm like, how do these females do it? How do they sit home and do nothing? But at the same time, they it's not that they sit home and do nothing. They are also collecting food stamps and public assistance and stuff like that. But as for me as a woman, I'm like, I need to get up and go work. You know, so like the 2 years that he wanted me to be off, it was all good. It sounded great. But after a while, you start touching your savings, it was like, no, I need to get back to work. But that's just me. I don't know about any other female or anything else.
Go ahead, Lika.
I used to work my part-time job while I was home with the kids. So it's just like he was working for a big city agency, and I used to be home, take care of the kids, go to work, and then come home and do what I got to do. So I did work, but I was not just waiting on him. I just lost myself and just forget about him and took care of the kids.
Right.
I think that women that stay home, like you said, that collect public assistance and stuff like that, that's learned behavior. See, right. A lot of times you only know your environment. You understand what I'm saying? It's learned behavior. It's passed down traditions. And if you don't know anything outside your environment, that's all that you know. Some people don't even know how to go outside their borough. So it's learned behavior.
Yes.
So you pass it down to your kids. You know what I mean? So it's not that that's all that they want to do. That's all they know. It's learned behavior.
Which is true. You know what, Jazzy? I totally agree with you. You're absolutely right. It is learned behavior because that's something that I didn't see. You know, to this very day, my parents are still married. They're going on 46 years. They still married. You know, they empty nesters now, but this is what I see my entire life. So even like when it was time for me to break up with my daughter's father, it was the hardest shit I had to do because all I know is my dad. I don't know no other man. So me bringing another man to my daughter's life was the hardest thing I had to do. But at the same time, it was like, you know what? I got to suck it up and I got to do what I got to do because at the end of the day, this is just not working out. Like even with me, him and I being together, it just wasn't working out. It was like he wasn't doing shit for me. In the words of Oso, he wasn't doing shit for me. He wasn't doing shit for her. So it was like, you know what? It is. I mean, it took several years, but here I am, and happy as ever. And I don't know.
That's right, because when I had my son, I was young, but I bet you I knew how to get that WIC. I knew how to get them food stamps. I know how to get, because I learned it from my mom. I learned it from my grandmother. I knew what I had to do because that's what they taught me to do. They didn't teach me, oh, go get a job, oh, go to school, find a sitter, and do this and do that. Continue your education. They didn't teach me that. That wasn't the learned behavior. The learned behavior was to get the WIC, get the food stamps, and take care of your child. Mm-hmm. So that was learned behavior. So I didn't learn the other things until I met other people. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. Oh, I can make this kind of money? Oh, I could do this? Oh, this is what I'm gonna do. And then I went on my own.
All right, so I got a question for y'all ladies, right? So, and it's vice versa to the fellas too. So, how long? All right, let's say the person that you do have a child with, right? And females, y'all the breadwinner in the situation, or whatever the case may be. And again, like I said, vice versa question, but I want to hear from your female's point of view. Are you okay with your baby father being a stay-at-home dad, or your husband or your boyfriend, or it's not okay for you?
Let me.
I would say it depends.
Carl, hold on, Carl, right. And then start.
I would say it depends. Because if let's say if I'm working a good job and I have great benefits and he's doing everything that needs to be done for the kids, like taking them to their doctor visits, cleaning the house, doing all the extracurricular activities that I would do with them, why not?
Can I say something? Because staying at home has a price. I mean, there's a price tag on that. Now, you saying you're not working, but any woman that knows about putting kids in daycare, they understand that's a big price tag. Right now, if I put my kids in daycare, which thank God they're at home right now, but we talking about it's more than my mortgage. You see what I'm saying? To put the kids in daycare. So if I decide as a father to stay home, that's not what I'll do because it's not fulfilling to me. I need to be out there doing something. But if a family decides that it's best for the father to stay at home with the kid, that's not necessarily a bad decision. You see what I'm saying? Because in the flip side of it, you saving more than $2,000, that could be going towards your mortgage, that could be going towards something else. You know what I mean? That's just one perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Well, I have
go ahead.
That I don't think it's first of all, life is difficult. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. Gas prices are going high. Okay. Life is getting life is expensive. Can a woman would I do something like that? I'm gonna be honest. I think that would be difficult for me to sit here and take care of children plus a grown man, because I think that if we're gonna be together, it's gonna take both of us to come together to achieve and succeed. And I myself couldn't even picture myself being a stay-at-home parent and not having any type of income to provide for our household. So I'm gonna be. I couldn't do it. I mean, that's just me being honest.
I agree.
Jocelyn.
No.
That's tough.
You need to get up and get a job because even if I'm able,
if I've reached a level in life where it's like, hey, a whole lot is coming in and he can handle that, and that's working for our situation where he can stay home and take the kids here and do this and possibly help out with certain things, then that's different. But for one person, man or woman, to take on the burden of...
But men do it all the time.
Men do it all the time, but I'm just speaking through my circle.
Whoa.
Wait.
Wait, we're not going to cut each other off. We're not going to cut each other off.
They do it all the time. They do, right? However, I wouldn't mind, but I can only imagine how difficult that would be. I just can't see it. I can't.
Right. And also staying home.
Unless there were circumstances where he can't work and I have to, then I'll do it. You understand what I'm saying? But I think for two people to get somewhere in life together and for people to accomplish and achieve stuff, I think two people got to...
Can I say something?
One
talk to
man or woman.
Go ahead. So your answer is no with that, right? A man, you're not comfortable with a man staying home and you be the breadwinner and take a kid home. So it's okay for y'all.
No.
To have that situation.
I'm not saying
I'm gonna stay home and let that man do whatever. I'm just curious.
Can I say something? we got.
I think every party has something to contribute. Everybody has something to contribute to the table. You understand?
Right. And
on the circumstances, yes. But I guess that would be for a woman that really doesn't care to, if a woman is comfortable staying home or a man is comfortable staying home and that works for the woman and she's bringing in a whole lot of money. Because we've had situations where I was staying home, where I was home and I was figuring things out and my partner was working, right? But as soon as I got on board, I'm sure he can tell you things got very easy. You get what I'm saying? I think whether the man is the breadwinner or the woman is the breadwinner, there's gonna be some imbalance and heavy burden, on the person's shoulder, whether it's a man or a woman. I think
that's and hold on. As you saying that, this is where a lot of single parent comes in the situation, because A lot of females feel like it's okay for them to stay home and
Well,
don't do shit.
all right,
But going back to what Jazzy was saying before, is learned behavior.
it is learned
It's
behavior.
learned behavior. Because
And I'm gonna be honest.
I know for me staying home for those like 9 months, 10 months, I was tired still, and I'm home. I'm still tired. So it's like, why not make some money?
I'm advocating
and still be
for the
tired?
women who stay at home. That ain't no easy job.
It's not.
Like you're just sitting around. No, you're not sitting around.
Right.
And I know because when I walked through the door, I didn't work about 12, 14, 20, 30 hours. And I have to put my bags down and help out. She's exhausted more than I am.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's this stereotype that we have to stay in this box where we have to play this role. No, it's whatever is needed. You step in.
It's whatever works for your situation.
Whatever works for your situation. But I'm hearing you, Carla, say that you can't sit back and work and bring all the money in, but men do it all the time.
Okay,
You see
well,
what I'm saying? Not saying
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what men do all the time. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what men
but
do.
that's what's put on men.
Well,
to
listen,
be the provider, you know, and bring the money home,
Right.
which is
I
good if
understand
that's the best, case scenario.
Look, this woman,
This is what I say. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This woman here, I work next to my partner, so I can't really sit here and speak to what other women do. But what I do, I work with my partner. He pay half, I pay half, but that works for us. You understand? And prior to him, I was always like that. And I've also been a single mother. And let me just let you know, single motherhood is not easy. You know, men have it hard, but women have it hard also. We not only are left with the burden of paying bills, we might have cars, we got to pay car note, right? Because we got to get around with our children. We have to put food on the table, and we have to take children to daycare. We have to make sure that, you know, they're well fed, well clothed. So yes, maybe there are women out there like that, but to be honest with you, me personally, I could not sit here and say that I would sit here and take care of a whole man that is very well capable of providing, has 2 hands, 2 feet, and very well capable of doing what he has to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Women do it.
And there are women
do it.
There are women that are comfortable with a man staying at home. But for me, I don't see success in that. You know, I think success.
I see women do it all the time, Carla.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
you know,
let me tell you,
it's a
that's great for
perspective.
the women that's
It really
doing
is.
that. But let me ask you a question, right? How are those women living? Because the way I live with my partner, we're living very well and very comfortable. You want to know
Well,
why?
they're not living well. They're not living well.
But you're talking
I'm just
about
saying,
let me
about
tell
a
you like
standard
this.
of living.
Let's not cut each other off. Let's not cut each other off.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000 because I stick to my truth and how I feel, right? For me, if I'm with a man and we have goals that we're gonna set to get to a better place in life, we both gotta work. Because that's the only way to get there. Yes, there are women out there that's taking care of the men, but for me and what works for me and my partner is us working together. I have a goal to do this, he has a goal to do that, and together we make it happen. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if there's people that like, for me, I don't like to sit and my table is lopsided all the time. I want to sit on a 4-leg table. You know, and I do what works for my family and what works for my partner, and that works for him. I've seen my man work real hard, you know, day and night. I got up and said, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna bring to the table, and it works. You understand? Yes. Are there women that do that? That everybody wake up every morning and they make a decision. Life is built on decisions. So if there's women that's going to make a decision like, hey, you know what? I like this man. He looks pretty sitting on, you know, flipping the TV screen and filling his belly.
And playing video games.
And play video games.
That's just sloppy. That's sloppy and
more power to you.
And laziness right there.
Now hold on.
You're talking about a man that just wants to sit on the couch and do nothing. But you know, when you
let Chris go. Let Chris go.
Hold on. I get Chris.
Go ahead, Chris.
So you described a vision that you had for your family, you and your husband. And so y'all got to do whatever y'all got to do to get to where y'all want to be. That's y'all goals, you see? But that's also a standard that y'all have made for yourself. Not everybody doesn't Everybody doesn't have that same standard, the same goal. So their situation, their circumstance may be slightly different. So it may be okay to have it as long as they're okay and they agree on it to be a certain way.
I just
Yeah.
personally think that people do what works for them. You understand what I'm saying? They're
Right.
comfortable taking care of a whole man, you know, feeding them, clothing them,
That's
sexing
so
them.
negative to say it like that.
I mean, I'm just saying, there's women, and there's nothing.
Because a man say
That's not a
No,
good
no,
thing.
no.
at home.
That's not a good thing or a
Hey,
bad thing.
Gersh,
She's not wrong for her opinion. She's
hold
not
on,
wrong for
hold
opinion.
on,
You know
babe.
what I'm saying?
Gersh, I see you shaking your head over there. What's your insight?
Like I've been reading the comments, and honestly, to just sum it up, to each his own, right? Everyone's perspective is
fact.
different as to what
That's
you
a
know,
fact.
as to what they view, what they feel it is, right? Now, to sum it up, we're talking about. I mean, well, actually, I'm sorry. I don't know. Also, if you meant the question you meant was a working man or just a lazy man. You get what I'm saying? Because
Right.
there's
Right. There
different
you go.
there's
Okay.
different pieces for
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
So I feel maybe he's asking a working man, a man who's gonna like basically take care of the home like the mom would take care of the home. So are you comfortable with that? We already know nobody wants anybody lazy. We know that. But if the man is taking care of the home, would you be comfortable basically bringing home the bacon while he's taking care of home while he's taking care of home?
Of course. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Right? I'm very comfortable with that because, you know, I not only work, but I also cook, I clean, I take care of the kids. We live a busy life. So I know what that is. That is helping somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? That is some form of help. However, I believe that when people come together, they don't have conversations about what goals they're looking for, what goals they want to see for their future in a relationship. You understand what I'm saying?
That's where the problem is.
And so for me, which I can only speak for myself, when we got together, we spoke about what we wanted to see in the future. And I spoke about what I wanted to add to that, you know, and if certain things didn't work out in certain spaces, I transitioned. If certain things didn't work for him in certain spaces, he transitioned. But it worked for the both of us. And I think that's what's lacking in a lot of relationships. People are not assessing who they bring into their lives. People are not communicating. They're not conducting interviews. And they're not making their standards be known. I think that I could say for
Honestly,
myself.
hold on, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I feel no, what it is that people change.
They do.
There's people who do communicate. There's people who would put what they want on the table.
Right.
But what it is, they don't realize reality.
Mhm.
And once reality hits, that's when they go their realization of, oh shoot, this is what I got to do. Because they had an idea as to what they want or what they assume was going to happen. And then when the reality hits them, this is why breakups happen. Because what I thought a mother and father home would be is not because your perspective is different than mine's.
Right.
So this is what happens. Reality comes into play and everybody goes, oh shoot, that's not what I thought was going to happen. Because there's people who do communicate. You know what I'm saying? There's people who would tell or would like I would speak like, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want, blah blah blah. But because again, it's those little things that comes in between that you don't like, or you didn't expect to come between. That's what changes the whole dynamics of everything.
Right.
In reality, it's 2022. So yeah, we do have to think realistic. Everything is expensive, and if you want to live in a shack, you know, a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, you know what I'm saying, then you know, one person can have a work at McDonald's and the other person could usually stay at home, you know what I'm saying? But like I'm not saying I disagree with you, Carla. I'm just saying I'm just kind of advocating for some people who may not have those type of standards.
No, it's
You know what I
okay
mean?
to disagree. It's okay to
Look, because
disagree.
I've been in two situations where the woman did not even want me to leave the house. She wanted me to stay at home while she go to work. And when the moment that I made something for myself and did something, she was telling me to quit my job. And that was an issue for me because I cannot sit at home. I cannot do that. That would eat away at my conscience. I got to be doing something. Not every man is like that, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Lika, what are your thoughts on this?
It's good. Everyone's opinions is great. As I said before, like if I'm making the money, I would allow my husband to stay at home and help with the kids. Because if I'm making more than him,
Yeah.
and I'm bringing in and I have the great benefits, of course I would help. At least he's helping out with the kids. He's helping around the house, and he's doing other things that I may not be able to do at the given moment in time because I have to go to work to bring home the money. So, I mean, your opinion is great, the missus, and I agree with everyone on what they're saying. Everyone has their point of views, and I agree with it. So,
And I only asked that question because if the table is vice versa, and then and this is where it comes into that single parent life, because now it's like, all right, boom. If I ain't doing shit, or if I ain't working hard as you, you working as hard as you, I ain't shit. You a deadbeat. You's a bum. You just stand in third. Then that when that nigga leave, or when that nigga leave the picture, then these are all the criteria that a man is at the end of the day. He's a bum. Or he always been a bum. He ain't never do shit to stand in third. Whether the man was working, busting his ass, or when he wasn't working, busting his ass. But if he was there physically and helping you out, he was still being a father to that child. But sometimes females take it to the extreme of like, oh, he's a bum. He's broke. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. He didn't do this, that, and the third. And again, that shit eats a man minds up. After a while, when a brother or whether, they hear that too much.
But that's
shit eats
just
a
women
person
being
up.
scorned from being a single parent. That's women. That's scorned women.
How can you be
That's
scorned if
from
you
being
your own?
a
How
single
can you be scorned if
parent.
you have one child? If you just having a child, how can you be scorned from that? How can you judge? How can you tell that man is a bum, this, that, and the third, if you have one child? You know what you're going off of? You going off your friends. You going off your mother's situation. You going off your grandmother's situation. You going off everybody else, but not your own. And
it's
that be
going
the
on for
problem.
everybody.
Nah,
Yeah,
listen.
it's also going on for her too, because she's feeling a way that you're not. Let's say, okay, you guys are in a relationship. She's calling you a bum or whatever, but she's trying to portray that picture like, okay, he did me dirty. Now I'm gonna tarnish his name, and her family could be saying the same thing too, and she could probably tell them stories that may not be true neither. So it all comes from everybody.
So then again, it becomes lies. It becomes lies and bullshit.
Well, let me
which is true.
A lot of times,
it do.
Yes.
A lot
Because
of
at the
times
same
it's
time,
the
I'm not a
woman.
single. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta jump in now. A lot of single moms, and I can only speak. I can only speak for the female because I'm a female. I don't know about the guy version. A lot of females, they talk bad about the father.
Mothers. Oh yeah.
In front of the kids. I don't care whether the father stays at home flipping channels all day or whether he's getting up and going to work. At the end of the day, you don't speak bad about your child's father in front of that child. Why? Because at the end of the day, this child is gonna grow up and be a man, be a woman, and see life for what it is for themselves.
Well, let me ask a question off of that. Do you guys think that there are parents out there, or any of the people you guys been involved with have had negative things to say about you fathers to the children, where you'll see like a little difference in your kid?
Definitely. And as a mom, and as a single mom, right? With my first child, because honestly, my husband I would give my husband 8 kids if he wanted to. Honestly, that's how great of a father he is. Even though it hurts, the contractions hurt. But anyway,
right.
But with my daughter's father, I know that he put stuff in my daughter's head, and mind you, I always have my daughter. I always have my daughter. My daughter's 19 years old now, but I know he still puts stuff in her head, and I can tell. I can see it, but I don't let it bother me because I know what I did as a mom. I know I bust my ass for her. I know what I did, for her, and that's what all that matters to me. It's like just recently she came up to me like a few weeks ago when she was home for spring break, and she was like, "I'm starting to see everything." She didn't go into details, but I was like, "Okay, no problem."
What about you, Gersh? Have you experienced that?
No, I honestly, if anything, it'd be between the mother and myself. We're going back and forth. It's always the verbal confrontation amongst us two. So I don't feel like I haven't seen. I can't, but I don't feel she has said anything. I think in my situation, I feel like the mom just want to be her friend more. Because I think the mom doesn't want to be the bad guy. Doesn't want to be the bad parent. Meaning, in other words, like just if I'm cool with my daughter, basically she's gonna see that I'm the cooler parent because I'm the one that's more disciplinary. I'm the one that's more like putting the foot down, like, hey, listen, this is what you're gonna do, or just basically being that, like, hey, I'm more strict, basically. So
Right.
I just feel she's instead of saying she's gonna just portray more of a friendly or opening arm, like, hey, I'm your friend. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like dad is more strict. He's the more angry one. Mom is the cooler one. So that's what I'm getting. I don't feel it's the putting anything in her head. It's just more just the actions that's happening between us.
So
I agree.
what about you, Oso?
Oh, I wish she would. I'm not gonna sit here and take nothing from anybody. Knowing that I'm at the door, like when we had this situation, I'm there from the beginning to end. Whether if I didn't want it or if I did want it, I'm there from the beginning. And when you walk into that hospital, when you walk out, that child's gonna have my last name. If you decide that you gonna disappear and do the dip, that's on you. Cause I'm not gonna walk around with that conscious, like, what I mean? I got a kid out there and they don't know who I am or they don't know nothing about me or anything like that. Like, she done did the spin. We had like a group little situation meeting yesterday. She done did this spin. My son been with me from day one. He's 18 years old. He continued to open the door for this lady constantly, and she keep closing on him. And all I do is just sit back. I tell him, hey, listen, bro, your day will come when you realize I'm your best hope. I'm the only person here for you. There's nobody else.
Can't do that.
You feel me? I'm not throwing
can't
dirt
do
on her
that.
name. Why not? I'm not throwing dirt on her
Because
name.
he gonna have to see it for himself. He gonna have to learn. For all you can do is be there and be like, you look, you tried. That's all you can do. But you can't be like, I'm your only hope, because what you're saying to him is to give up on her, and that's gonna make him strive towards her more.
Mm-hmm.
No.
That's
I never neglected her. I never neglected her. As he was growing up, all I was saying to me, listen, I'm here for you. Like I'm the only one that's here for you at this, like at this very moment. It's me. So you can continue. And like I said, he reached out, he does everything. Reach out, call, and constantly he realized as he got older, that door wasn't opening for him on that side of the world. That door wasn't opening for him. It wasn't opening for him. After a while, he's like, yo, Dad, you know what? You're right. So he figured that on his own, but I was just kind of, prepare him. Yo, listen, bro, you gonna get these doors are gonna close on you, whether it's gonna be from her, whether it's gonna be from school, a job, whatever it is, these doors gonna close and you're gonna go through this shit. This is something you're gonna go through, these doors closing. You gotta be the one to accept that comes with it. Are you gonna take it or you gonna continue to push on? And he's accepted it.
You know what?
I get it, because I used to tell Corey all the time.
Yeah, go ahead.
I used to tell Corey all the time. I used to be like, yo, it's me and you against the world. I have to trust you. I have to believe in you. So you have to be honest with me, because I have nobody but you. It's just you and I. And if I can't trust you, I can't trust anybody. You know what I mean? So you have to be honest with me. I have to know that I have you, just like you know that you have me. Because it's you and I against the world.
And the kid, and after a while, they will realize, yo, you know what? My pops never lied to me about anything. He might have took forever to do something or whatever, but my mother or father, they didn't lie to me. They just kept it a buck with me and prepared me for the negative, so I don't have to be hurt at the end of the day. Because as a child get older, and they still getting a constant door flipped on their face from whether either side of the parents, like mother, father, that shit hurts. Like after a while, no matter what, that shit really hurts. Cause you feel like as you get older, like, yo, damn, my moms ain't fucking with me. My pops ain't fucking with me. Like, why not? What the fuck did I do for them not to fuck with me? I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing at all but be a kid. And
we on a
again,
countdown.
Well, I'll say, like, I think that men men go through it just as much as women do. I just think that we don't consider, or we don't take into account like the fact that there are single men out there that are raising their children. We women aren't the only ones going through challenges and experiencing difficult moments with our partners. But I haven't really heard anyone um, expressing like exactly what do they do to like try to make things better. Like I was a single parent too before I met my husband, right? And I think, well, and every all of us, we have different upbringings and stuff like that. But we had family involvement and in raising our kids, just like Jocelyn did. And I think communication is key with everything. I think that people don't they and I always say this, like people don't really work on themselves. They don't work on how they're going to communicate with the people that they decide to have children with. I think communication was a big thing for me, and it's been working for me for 15 years. You understand? I think that after people walk away from a relationship, they're constantly pointing fingers. Oh, this person is controlling, that person did this person at that. What did we do to contribute to that separation? You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of times we don't take accountability. It's important for people to like come together, especially if there's children involved, and have the real conversations. Like, you know, sometimes you might have to go back and say, yo, what did I do to have that caused you to be this way? You get what I'm saying? And just fix the situation for the sake of the kids. I think I said it before, you know, last year for the first time in like 14, 15 years, my son had a birthday party, and me and their bonus mom we had a great time. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a level of maturity. It takes a level of, you know, people wanting to, you know, see better dynamic within the families. And she helped me out with the pizza. She was just present. You understand? And I wish that would have been a relationship that her and I had sooner. But I think that if her and I can come together as mothers, because they also have a sister that, you know, that they talk to all the time, I think that we can make something greater happen within, you know, between people and people that have children. And I don't think that we are thinking higher than our emotions. I think our emotions are really driving the things that we do. And I don't think that, you know, people are sitting down thinking about those things.
I agree, but at the same time, it's all about maturity, because just last year we had a graduation party for my daughter. Honestly, me personally, I did not want to have a graduation party for her, but her dad insisted. He said he was gonna pay for everything, blah blah blah, whatever. We actually had it the day after our honeymoon. I just got back from my honeymoon because remember I got married last year, and I was telling him like it's gonna be too much. We should just go take her to Walmart, Target, whatever. Anyway, to make the long story short, his wife, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. God bless her. I love her. Like that day was the day that we actually, like, you know, we met, whatever. Likewise, she helped with a lot. Kudos to her. She did a lot. But like 3 days after the event, I'm getting phone calls. Oh, this is how much I paid for this. This is how much I paid for this. This is how much. And I'm like, but I told you I did not want to have this. I told you I didn't. And I'm like, I thought we was all good. Like, although I did contribute, like I did pay for, I did also pay. You know, I didn't like leave him high and dry. No. But I'm like, how dare you? After all these goddamn years, I never asked you for $1. And every time it's always like, oh, and like say if it's oh, can we go half? Bro, you don't even give me 10 cents. And now you're calling me about this graduation party. I'm like, to make the long story short, I think that was the last time we spoke.
Wow. Yeah, so I mean,
it's all about maturity, and it's all about like being real, like being real. Like I already communicated with you. Like, no, I don't want to have this party. I don't.
Do you guys, other people here, think that there's a communication barrier between two parents that have children, and that's what's causing like the shift? Maybe
it is, because it becomes personal. It becomes personal.
So what have you contributed like to that aspect of it? Like, do you think that you could have maybe communicated better, or, you know?
No, I mean, okay. It's
what mistakes have you made? Let's talk about yourself personally, because we could talk about what you did wrong all day. What have you done to like?
Basically, not allow myself to be respected by her. That's the mistake I made.
Mhm.
Because again, I've done my part where, okay, I'm going to communicate. I'm going to be more, I'm going to communicate with her in regards to our daughter, the decisions we're going to make. But
Mhm.
again, because of course she's upset or things are not going her way, especially between us, now it doesn't become about our daughter. It becomes about us, and it affects
Right.
the decision we make towards our daughter because she's upset about what we're going through. So that's my contributing, me basically not allowing myself to be respected because I allowed these barriers to be like, okay, if basically you feel this way, I'm gonna respond to you just so to make you, just to appease you because you're upset. But when
Mhm.
it's my turn for the respect, I don't get it, and I just sit there. I stay there and I accept it. So that's me. That's what I did
Mhm.
Right.
basically. So that was me. So now when it comes to, okay, where's the respect barrier? I don't get it because I contribute to showing you you don't have to respect me.
Mhm. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Chris,
So
Man, can I say something?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, I got a question. You know, if you have a parent, or say you have custody of your child, and you have a parent that won't reach out to your child at all. They have the numbers, they have the contact information, but they just will not reach out for anything. Is it then the parent that has a child's responsibility to reach out to that parent so they can keep that bond and connection for the child? Or do we just fall back and just let it be?
Lika, what do you think about that?
Um, I think that's tough, but I also think that you could give that child the number. If the child wants to call, it's on the child, not on you, the parent. That's how I truly look at it. Like I have full custody of my kids, and even though um, I have full custody, I still had told my children, if your dad is okay with it, you could call your dad and ask him if he's okay with it. If he's okay with it, then I'm okay with it. Because at the end of the day, we may not be cool or communicate with each other. But if the kids come to an agreement and they tell me like, okay, dad said this, that, and you have to let me hear he says that, because kids like to play both sides, then I'll be like, okay, fine, we could agree to that. But I feel like if it's a child that you have custody and the child wants to reach out to the parent, let the child reach out, because that's the only way they'll know that, hey, my parent, my mother or my father don't want nothing to do with me, which is going to also leave a void in the child's life as well too.
Right.
What
What if the
about you,
child
Jay?
is too afraid to communicate that to you, and you don't
Yeah.
know what the child's thinking? They keep it on their head, but they go throughout life not really expressing themselves.
So
At what
you might have to
time do
open that
you
op-
step in?
you
Yeah.
might have to open that doorway for them. Or like I'm big on therapy, and I put my kids in therapy. So if they feel a certain way about, like, my daughter, sometimes her and her father go through things, so I put her through therapy. Like, listen, because I had daddy issues at one point, and therapy had helped me work through my daddy issues because my father wasn't my father. Like, he's different. But she was going through that. She was going through that too. So I said, go to therapy, express it. So that way you can have your father join you through therapy to open up that barrier to explain what's going on. So if your child is scared to say something or come forth, because they most likely children always try to protect the parents' feelings. I learned that from my children.
Mhm.
So you could use that as a way, like, listen, whatever you do, whatever you say, as long as it's the truth, I can't be mad at you. Just tell me how you feel. And as the one you open that door to them to come to you, to be comfortable to speak to you about everything, then you should be fine. The child will be able to be comfortable to come out and say it to you.
Can I tell you why I asked that? Because I have a situation where, I've had my son since he was 4 years old, and before then, my his mother wasn't honest with me about him being my child. But when I found out that he was mine, immediately I stepped in, and it's like she was pushing him out the door. You know what I'm saying? For me to take care of him. Then I find out that she she almost gave him up for adoption. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to speak too loud. I don't know if you're awake or not, but she doesn't call. And when she finally reaches out to communicate, she always blames me for not like I'm keeping him away from her. You know, but all in reality, she has all the contact information. She doesn't reach out, and 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 that's why I asked the question. You know what I'm saying, for the child's sake, because it really doesn't matter what she thinks. Because you look on Facebook, she living her best life. You know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it's about the child. So that's why I'm just asking. You said something about counseling. That's very, very important.
Mhm.
I think, I think that's one thing I haven't done. I should have did that a long time ago, because
Oh, you
sometimes
It's
the
never
child
too
won't
late.
open up to you.
You
Won't open up to
It's
you.
never too late.
it's never too late, Chris. It's never too
Yeah.
late. And yo, we have gone like 10 minutes over our time. Yo, we're gonna have to like get this back
Wow.
going. Maybe create a part 2 for this. We're gonna
Yes.
go back to get juicier.
Yes,
We're
sir.
gonna go around the table and everyone gets to say their last words. We're gonna start with you also.
He's crying.
I'm straight. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. What can I really say? Listen, to all the single dads out there, and I'm saying single dads that's really a part of their kids' life, man, continue to do what you do. It's a blessing thing. Single mothers, if you out there, do the same thing. Like, don't let this shit hold you back from anything, or letting your kids see you do great things, because at the end of the day, it's the kids who suffer. Trust me, I know single-handedly how hard this shit is to be a single parent. And you just gotta prepare yourself, man, for everything that's gonna be better for y'all at the end of the day. Like, and I commend everybody on this panel right now who is single parents, who is married, and they got the help and everything else, man. Like, this shit is tough out here, man. You definitely need a village to raise these kids, man. You can't do this shit by yourself, not one bit.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Jazz.
Yo, I want to close with something. It takes a village to raise a home. That's all I got to say. Like, it definitely takes a village. But this village today, you got to be careful with, but it definitely
Mhm.
takes a village to raise a child. So,
Lika.
I would just want to add that, if you have kids with people and you're not together and you hate that person to the point, you have to look at your child and also know that if you could hate that person, you can hate your child too, because at the end of the day, your child's a part of that person. So always show love and give love. So in the end, your child will be beautiful and raise a happy child and loving child at the end, and comfortable in themselves. That's all.
Jocelyn.
Yeah, I would have to say, for all the young ladies that's watching, who I was watching, single motherhood is hard, but it's also fun. And I say that because you get to learn yourself. And just know that regardless of what, even when it's time for you to break down, just know at the end of the day, you have someone watching you, whether it's a little boy, whether it's a little girl. Just be strong for your babies, and just be there. Be there regardless to what the situation is.
Gersh.
Piggybacking off of what Jocelyn said, your kids are watching you. Even though you think they're not, they're watching you. Continue to be strong for them, of course, and for yourself. You got to be good for you in order to continue to be good for them. You know what I'm saying? If you're not good for you, you can't be good for them. You know what I'm saying? Your spirit, the energy rubs off of you to them. They feel that. When you're down, they feel that. They're going to see that. So, just continue to keep your spirits up. And you learn every day. Parenting, you don't stop learning. You learn something new every day from yourself and your child. So continue doing what you got to do.
Chris.
Yeah, I just want to add on to it. Like, always keep the child in mind in every situation. Remove yourself out of the equation and start to think what's best for the child. You know what I mean? And then, communication. That goes back to communication again. No matter what the past was and how the relationship broke up, you know, try to make it some kind of medium where you can work
about the child.
to benefit the child. You know what I'm saying? And I also want to say something, about that man that's sitting on the couch. You know what I mean? If that's you watching us right now, I don't want to say anything negative, but I do want to say that each and every day we should always be trying to better ourselves. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You need to be doing something. There's always a next step, a next level, and as long as you're doing that, you can't fail. You're always you're gonna persevere. You know what I'm saying? Set goals that's gonna put you in a better position than you are. That's all I want to say. Yeah.
And a
Well,
shout out to those single mothers out there that's doing their thing. My
yeah.
hat go off to you, because I've seen some women commit their lives to their children, and I'm proud of y'all.
Yes, that's great stuff. Great stuff.
Hey, babe, I just wanted to say this was dope tonight.
Yeah.
I think we did another one.
I
Another
think
one,
Another
we did
like
one.
some
DJ
good.
Khaled.
We did an
Another one.
amazing
Another
job.
one. Hey,
Yeah,
I want to
I
say
think we
thank you
all
everybody for
did
coming
an
out.
amazing job
No
This
tonight,
problem.
was
guys.
Part
great.
two coming soon.
Really
Part two coming
appreciate
soon.
it. Yeah,
Oh
I had
yeah,
a
Next
make
good
week,
sure
time.
you
Tuesday, make sure you
leave
guys
a
log
like.
on, like, comment, subscribe,
Yes.
come back and be a family with us. And
Absolutely.
we're about to close this thing
Absolutely.
out.
Absolutely. Everybody definitely like, comment, subscribe. Check out we got our email down at the bottom. Follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Affinity Black Net. We're on Instagram, Affinity _Black. And shoot us an email. Let us know what content you want to hear about. Shoot us an email.
Right.
Let us know about your business. Let us promote you. And even better, come on the show, have a discussion with us, and promote yourself.
And before we go, we want to make sure we shout out Jocelyn Paparazzi Accessories.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Absolutely.
guys.
What
Follow
about
me
Toast
on
One
Blink
Absolutely.
Box
TV?
Ramirez.
And
Blink
Toast
Box
One.
Ramirez on Facebook.
That's coming soon. It's in the making, man. You know
Okay,
what I'm
and
saying? Y'all stay tuned for that.
also our single fathers out there, man, y'all on fire, man. Thumbs
Yes,
up.
maybe we should
Yeah, you
have a
guys are
panel with
doing
all
an
these single fathers.
amazing job.
Yes.
Thank
But
you.
real quick before we go, I wanted to kind of piggyback off of what Ger said about energy. I think a lot of people talk about, checking your emotions out and energy, and emotion is energy in motion. Everybody needs to work on those things, like
Right.
work on your energy, who you're giving your energy to, who you're not who you have in your circumference. Make sure you're giving the most positive energy to your children. Learn how to communicate, work on your mental. I'm reading a book right now. It's called Becoming Supernatural. This talks about like working on yourself, working on your the inner part of yourself, taking care of your circumference, your energy. And so that I think that's important. Make sure y'all add that to your lives, your repertoire, your book, your stuff or whatever. Make sure you guys pick up a book and read it. It's good for your mental. So there you have it.
Close us out, man.
Have a good day,
All
y'all.
right.
See you next week on
Thank
Tuesday.
you.
Hit the like, hit subscribe.
Also, 2024,
Everyone,
going for
part two.
president.
All right. All right.